The 2025 NFL Draft has finally come, and it's finally gone. We found out where Shador Sanders went in the 5th round. We're still waiting on Aaron Rodgers, but we're moving way past him until he signs with another team. And now we get to the best part. 2 random brothers on the internet tell you exactly where each team is going to end up in the 2025 season. This is Hilltime Sports, and you don't want to miss our 32 team projection. The Tennessee Titans. We start with the worst team in the NFL last season, where they finished with a 3-14 record. That's good for the basement of the AFC South. I mean, any of those teams in any other division would have been garbage, but the Titans are the worst of the worst. They got the number 1 pick. They drafted Cameron Ward, who's a huge upgrade, in my opinion, from Will Levis and Mason Rudolph. And yes, I'm using my handy-dandy notebook. Shout out to Steve from Blue's Clues. 52 sacks last season. It's 28th in the league. Mason Rudolph and Will Levis had one of the worst statistical passing seasons, in my opinion, combined for 3,621 yards, 6.8 yards per attempt, 22 to 21 TD to interception ratio. You'd have to go all the way back to like the 1960s to see something like this. The offense was bad. 18.3 points per game, which was 27th. Points against, 27.1, which was 30th in the league. That means 2 spots from the worst. At least they were okay on defense. Better than they were on offense. Okay, so 195.1 yards, passing yards per game, which was good for 26th, and 109.1 rushing yards, which was good for 19th per game. Their worst stat, in my opinion, was their negative 17 turnover differential. I mean, they were giving up turnovers like it was a bakery out there. 31st in the league in that department. I mean, this team got better just by drafting a quarterback number 1 overall. And I'm going to take it over to my little brother, Anthony, who's got another hot take to come at you with. Stay tuned. Here we go.
As I'm laying here, sitting down, thinking about the NFL season, as a Titans fan, got a lot of hope coming. I really do see the Titans, jumping from last place in the division to at least number 2. Look at it last year. Yeah, we were the worst team in the NFL, I'll admit it. But we were only a couple games away from being like 7-10. I know it's not that great of a record, but Will Levis cost us a lot of games. A lot of games we should have won. Should have beat the Bears game week 1. Should have beat the Jets week 2. There's a lot of other. If you look at the film, really look at the film, we should have won 3 or 4 more games. But I mean, look at it. You got Jacksonville. Tony Khan's running a terrible franchise. They're never good. Then you got the Colts. I mean, Anthony Richardson's a career 53% completion percentage. Look it up. High school, college, NFL. Just terrible. 53%. And, their backup, Daniel Jones, really. He is not going to strike fear into anybody. That's my opinion. Obviously, you got the Texans. The Texans are going to win the division. They're really good. I mean, there's no joke about that. I gotta remain humble. But yeah, I think the Titans are going for 4th place to number 2. Let me know in the comments what you think.
All right. So now that we're back with that, I have to wholeheartedly agree. I really think that this team is on the rise. Do I think they're going to get 2nd place? I think they actually do. I mean, they're playing in one of the worst divisions probably the worst division in the NFL, the AFC South, where the Texans are losing offensive linemen left and right. The Colts quarterback situations looks like a Mr. Magoo department. I don't know. I don't have a good analogy for that, but I tried. And who else? The Colts suck. Last team, Jaguars. Oh, they're a poverty franchise. We all know who runs them and why they won't be good with their not even having a cart for Trevor Lawrence. He had to walk off the field with help. Okay, we'll move on. But They were 37.7 on third down percentage, which was good for 19th in the league, and had the second most interceptions in the league. They were really bad in every statistical category. And I am going to say this. They would have been better on defense if their offense didn't suck so bad. I wholeheartedly agree. I wholeheartedly think that they would have been a lot better if they just didn't turn the ball over, didn't give up, and didn't not score. They would have been a lot better. Now we get to the fun part. We play a lot of fantasy football in this game, in this house. Your top fantasy football people in 2024, Calvin Ridley was 29th amongst receivers and averaged 10.59 fantasy points. Tony Pollard was 21st amongst running backs, 11.78 points per game. Titans defense was 28th amongst defenses at 6.35 points per game. And I have to say that, like I said, it had to do with the offense being so bad that they allowed so many points. Chig Okonwu, I hope I said his name right, 19th amongst tight ends with 6.13 points per game, and added Tyler Lockett, who is a shell of his former self, and maybe he might be good on the Titans. He was 65th amongst receivers and had 6.25 yards per game, 600 yards for the season, and 2 touchdowns for the season. Not great, but he does add veteran presence and a Super Bowl pedigree. I don't think they're competing for a Super Bowl this year, but I digress. They also added Xavier Woods, which was a safety, Kevin Zeitler, offensive guard. He's 35 years old. I think Xavier Woods going to help out that secondary. They definitely need help in the back end. Dan Moore Jr. is a left tackle. I'm not saying everybody who they got in free agency, but left tackle Dan Moore Jr., 92.5 pass block win rate, but he did allow 12 sacks, which was worse than the NFL, and allowed 41 pressures, which was also last in the league amongst tackles. He did play 1,100 snaps last year, so I'll take those 12 sacks amongst those 1,100 snaps, and part of it was probably Russell Wilson, in my opinion. But in the draft, they also got, I got my handy dandy notebook, and I'm trying not to read too much from them because I'm just, putting my face right in there. But this guy's name's hard to say. In the second round, they got Oluwafemi Oladejo, which is an edge rusher, and the Titans needed help on the edge. I mean, they need help everywhere, but on the edge and in the quarterback position is where they really struggle. Third round, safety, Kevin Winston Jr. Can I read better? No, Kevin Winston Jr., was he a safety? Oh, yes. Kevin Winston Jr. is a safety from UCLA. He should help out that secondary with the signing of Xavier Woods as well. And then, I wish I could read better. Round 4, wide receiver, Shamir DK from Florida. I hope I pronounced the name right. It looked a little weird, but also they drafted tight end Gunnar Helm from Texas and wide receiver Alec Iomanor. I probably butchered the name. From Stanford. 5th round, guard Jackson Slater, Sacramento State. 6th round, Marcus Harris from Cal, the cornerback, and running back Kalel Mullings from Michigan. Now, we get to the best part. I'm going to break down where I think the Tennessee Titans are going to end up. They're going to end up with a 7-10 record. They're going to improve by 4 games, in my opinion. I think their quarterback position is secure for the next few years, at least. I think that Cam Ward will be great. I think the defense has improved. I think they're better than the Jaguars. I think they're better than the Colts, who my brother already said why they were garbage. But I really think they will go 7-10. They're going to be fighting for that AFC spot because the Texans lost all those offensive linemen, and they didn't really do much in the draft, at least in this YouTuber internet person, and I don't know what I am. Opinion. But let me know what you guys think. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Even if you hate me, love me, just leave a comment, This is Hilltime Sports.